Do you want a happy life or a meaningful life? Well, this question poses a false dichotomy. You really can't have a happy life without living a meaningful life. Meaning is an important component of happiness. A life devoid of meaning would also be a life devoid of happiness. So many people, sadly, pursue happiness without knowing how to or that they even should pursue meaning. Hi, this is Chris Hallett. Thanks for stopping by the Cultivate Happiness channel. Today we're going to talk about the connection between happiness and meaning. So how do people miss building meaning in their search for happiness? I don't think they really understand happiness. Happiness, the way it's generally pursued in our culture, it's mostly a selfish act. We chase the positive emotions associated with happiness, but not the undergirding characteristics and activities that lead to lasting happiness. If you adopt an entitlement mentality, the idea that you deserve happiness simply by being special you'll probably miss the emphasis on building meaning, and you'll miss happiness. If you lead a self-centered life, a life that's all about you, where you believe other people and human institutions are here primarily to fulfill your needs and wants, if you always put yourself first, you'll miss meaning and you'll pursue happiness. If you conceptualize yourself primarily as a consumer looking for happiness in material objects, you'll miss happiness. If you think life is about building wealth and fame, you will almost guarantee you'll miss happiness. So there are a lot of ways to get off track. The lack of building meaning is one of the primary obstacles to happiness that exists in Western societies today. So let's talk about meaning. What is it and why is it important for a flourishing life? Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs has been hugely influential in our culture. High school psychology classes cover it. Certainly, introduction to psychology classes in college force students to learn the different levels of Maslow's hierarchy. He introduced the concept in a paper published in 1943 titled A Theory of Human Motivation. And that's what it is, a theory. Maslow was thinking through what motivates people. Persons who don't have basic needs met will be motivated differently than those who have all their fundamental needs met. If you don't have shelter and food, you're going to function differently than someone who does have shelter and food and then can focus on other things. Through his observations, he posited 5 levels of needs that he argued exist in a hierarchy. You have to meet the lower level needs before your mind can focus on meeting higher needs. At the bottom are physiological needs: food, water, air, etc. If you can't breathe, you're not going to be worried about meeting any of your other needs. Then the next level is safety: shelter, job, basic financial security. Those are your safety needs. And then the higher level than that are your social needs: friendships, relationships, romantic attachment, family relationships, relationships in various groups. These meet our social needs. And then climbing or building on that are our esteem needs, the need for appreciation and respect. And then finally, the highest level, according to the first iteration of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is self-actualization needs. This is the peak. This is the achievement of full potential for an individual. It's a person that's using their talents and capabilities to produce self-fulfillment. Later in life, Maslow modified his theory and added a 6th, highest level of human need, and that is the need for self-transcendence. This has to do with meaning, the need to connect to something beyond the self and help others find fulfillment in living. Self-transcendence means you're moving outside of yourself and beyond yourself to contribute to the good of others. Now, Maslow's theory has been thoroughly debated and altered, etc., throughout the years in the psychology community. I would say in philosophy and religion, it's been examined and used also. When you examine Maslow's methodology, you really get the idea that his is more of a philosophical theory than a scientific one. The point, though, is that this theory, this idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, was highly influential in how people generally think about their own needs. The highest need, according to the most widely spread and most influential version of Maslow's hierarchy, is still that self-actualization need. Most people, even psychologists, didn't get the memo about self-transcendence and meaning. Even the way it is taught today often leaves off this most important discussion of meaning. But meaning is a vital part of happiness. And without meaning, you're not going to reach happiness. Martin Seligman, some refer to him as the father of positive psychology, has evolved in his thinking, and in one of his later books, Flourish, he discusses meaning in detail. As a matter of fact, he includes meaning as one of his 5 major components of a flourishing or happy life. Seligman defines meaning as, quote, belonging to and serving something that you believe is bigger than self, unquote. So again, we see that meaning is an important part of the happiness equation, and meaning cannot be pursued through merely self-focused means. One of the most important persons in helping us understand meaning is Viktor Frankl. He was an Austrian neurologist and psychiatrist born in 1905. Because he was Jewish, he and his family were rounded up and imprisoned in Nazi concentration camps. His wife, father, mother, and brother all died. He survived to the end of the war and liberation, having spent a total of 3 years in 4 different camps. While in prison, he made keen observations about human nature, both human cruelty and human resilience. When he was liberated, he returned to Austria, where he wrote one of the most influential books ever written, Man's Search for Meaning. The original title of the book in German is translated, Nevertheless, Saying Yes to Life. The book was not only about meaning, but about finding hope in meaning. Frankl observed that those prisoners of the concentration camps who could imagine, who could visualize in their heads themselves pursuing meaning and purpose following this horrendously dehumanizing experience of living in Nazi concentration camps, those people were more likely to survive. Just like Frankl himself, he would imagine himself teaching the observations, teaching the insights that he was learning in the concentration camps to psychology students, psychiatry students after the war. So for Frankl, meaning and hope go together. Being able to see past the circumstances of the present and know that your life is going to matter on the other side was vital to survival. Those who gave up hope for meaning gave up their will to live. Frankl wrote, "There is nothing in the world that would so effectively help one to survive even the worst conditions as the knowledge that there is a meaning in one's life." Quoting Nietzsche, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." Why? Why am I here? Why does my life matter? What is the meaning of my existence? Big questions that need to be answered for us to know lasting happiness and live flourishing lives. Do you want a meaningful or happy life? Yes, you need both. Everyone wants to be happy. Happiness without building meaning, however, is impossible. You only build meaning when you see yourself making a contribution outside yourself. When you make an impact on something bigger, something deeper, something that will be a blessing to others. If you ask me, the greatest meaning in life is living for our Creator God, the God who said to Abraham, "I'm going to bless you, and all the peoples of the earth will be blessed through you." That is the very definition of meaning. To be blessed by God so God can bless others in and through your life. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, leave a comment, a question in the comment section below. Be sure and subscribe to the Cultivate Happiness channel so you don't miss out on any new content that will help you lead a more fulfilling, meaningful, happy life. I hope you have a happy day.